Hello Exiles, Red Lord here. So, I've got a couple of upgrades again to talk about. And yeah, let's right away start with the main one, and that would probably be I've got Thunderfist now in the build. And yes, I basically sold the Rakiata's Flow as I was talking about it in the last video, sold it for 11 divines at that time. And bought myself a Thunderfist, pair of Thunderfist for 8 divines with level 19 Crackling Palm uncorrupted. I divined it like 3 or 4 times, didn't hit anything really good. So I stopped divining and kept it basically. But yeah, I love the skill. Just as you can see it in the gameplay, it looks really good. Like the not only the 3D art on the gloves itself, but also the crackling palm itself, the skill, that thunderbolt that comes from the sky. It is a purplish power or color, sorry, and it looks pretty damn good and makes for quite a satisfying sound. However, quite frankly, I think it's doing quite some damage if you scale enough attack speed, right? That it adds on to the DPS for this build. But there's one really unfortunate thing about it, and at least in the tooltip, it seems that it's not scaling with either the base 5% unarmed crit or with the crit from your hollow palm technique. Because yeah, I should be having completely for instance, my Ice Strike has currently 64% crit, unbuffed, not in combat, and my Crackling Palm has 37. So basically like half of that, right? And yeah, that's really unfortunate. So I think that either that 5% from the base crit for unarmed skill is missing, or it is actually the crit from hollow palm. I think it might be the unarmed crit because, yeah, just from the top of my head, the numbers make sense losing that 5%. So, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the unarmed thing missing, because the Crackling Palm skill doesn't have an unarmed tech. It only says that it requires unarmed. So, yeah, that's quite an unfortunate thing, but you can link it as any other thing, and it looks cool, and it adds onto the DPS. Nonetheless, that's just true. But yeah, other than that, I didn't make many changes in the build. Like, I've upgraded my boots, obviously, because the previous ones in the last video, if you've seen the last video, you know which boots that I have, and yeah, they really weren't good anymore. So I upgraded my boots, and believe it or not, all the gameplay you see is on just 20 movement speed boots. And yeah, that made me really realize that I can now start actually looking into some unique boots, because I don't mind losing that movement speed that much as I did in the previous leagues, thanks to sprinting, because now I can just sprint in between packs, and I don't require to have like 30 minimum movement speed boots to at least feel good. It might be different on a warrior because, yeah, not that many movement skills, not that many dashing, and of course maybe even a shield, so that's less movement speed and all of that. So maybe you actually still need it on the warrior, but I don't think so, just in theory. We shall see once I play a warrior. But yeah, that makes me want to talk about another topic here, and that's this update might be the last actual update where I show you the items that I've upgraded and all of that, because yeah, I've got a lot to try. There's lots of new stuff, completely new or redesigned, reworked stuff that I want to try and play with. And yeah, I don't want to be sticking around on one build until, I don't know, a month into the league. So yeah, and already I'm gonna be finishing my Arbiter of Ash today. I'm just gonna kill Arbiter of Ash. I think I'm missing only one Citadel. And yeah, so that would mean I would have the map boss Atlas tree completed. I already killed Citadel bosses. You might see it in the gameplay showcase with 6 modded waystones and level 80 plus zones. So I already did that. And yeah, other than that, the build feels really good. There's sometimes wacky stuff going on with Shattering Palm and Hand of Chayula. And by that I mean sometimes when you're dashing into enemies, there's just some obstacle in the way, or just the game, I don't know if the game captures the fact that you wanted to dash in some kind of wrong way, but sometimes what happens is you actually hit with the Shattering Palm, for instance. You actually hit with it and you don't teleport there. So yeah, that's annoying when this happens, and I think it was happening during Dawn of the Hunt too, although I'm not sure. But yeah, that's one annoying thing that can happen during clearing. On bossing, this doesn't happen at all. And yeah, by the way, I've fixed, or I'm gonna explain it more into the details once I get to the upgrade section or skill gem section. But I've fixed my charge generation, at least power and frenzy charge generation, and it's all in one button, and I love it, and I think it's pretty smart and pretty strong. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say to start with, and now let's get into the build itself. Alright, we're in hideout. I'm currently level 90. I hit it yesterday at the end of the stream, I think. And yeah, I'm finally kept on res, and let's just jump straight into the item changes. So, Thunderfist. That's the main dish here, and yeah, the crackling palm from the Thunderfist feels really good, looks really good, but as I said about the crit, it doesn't feel like it's scaling the crit, because now currently I'm in hideout, unbuffed, and as you can see 37.5% crit, and it's got all the right tags, right? It's an attack elemental, right? So yeah, in compared to Ice Strike, it's 64.5, right? So yeah, my theory is that Crackling Palm just doesn't get that initial unarmed crit from Hollow Palm, which is unfortunate. In my opinion, that really kinda, I almost want to say breaks the flow of the build, but not really. And what do I mean by break the flow? I mean, pretty much I've built the character so everything scales generically, so I can pretty much scale my attack things and my elemental expression at the same time, and everything's getting its own crit and all of that. But I really thought that the Crackling Palm would basically scale with the unarmed crit and all of that. But apparently it doesn't have that base unarmed crit, I guess. And yeah, that really kind of... the best word for it would be puts me down. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not something crazy like build breaking or anything, but it puts me down. Definitely puts me down. Which is, yeah, quite unfortunate. Yeah, but other than the crit thing with the Crackling Palm, it is great. You can actually link it like any other skills with support, so you can go full damage on it, you can go full utility on it, you can do anything you want. For example, I'm using blind here, so this is the skill that I'm blinding with. Unfortunately, I wanted to use rage on it. That would be perfect. But unfortunately, you cannot use rage because it's not a melee tag. I don't know why really, but yeah, I know why, because you can use skills like Storm Wave, which aren't melee, I think. I'm not sure at the moment. Yeah, but basically, Rage doesn't work. But yeah, you can link it as any other skill. And all in all, in the end, I think it's good. It just adds another form of damage into the build, another form of coolness, and that's what I love. So yeah, that's talking about the Crackling Palm and Thunderfist. Now, still the same Darkness Enthroned with faster start of energy shield recharge. This is really good. Then the boots that I've upgraded. And yeah, I got these. As I said, they've got only 20% movement speed, but they've got a lot of resist. They got double tier 1 res, and they've got some stun threshold. I wasn't really after that stun threshold, but I just managed to stumble upon these boots, bought them for 1 divine, and they've got really good evasion and really good energy shield. So yeah, these boots are giving me a bunch of damage, basically. And also defense in terms of the resist and energy shield and all of that, because yeah, you can see 120 flat energy shield is equal to like 400 to my build, over 400, like 450. Yeah, still the same body armor, I believe, still the same rings, I believe, and ideally, since I lost some leeched as mana on my gloves, I would get it on underring, and and still the same amulet, definitely. Still the same helmet, so basically the gear is still the same as it was in the last video, except the Thunderfist and the boots, because I need to offset those resists and I'm just barely capped. So yeah, that's enough for me. Yeah, now let's jump into the skill tree. And I've done my last ascendancy, and I took the faith is a choice for the meditate skill. And what it does, basically, you channel it. I got it on my T, and you channel it, you hold the button, and you're gonna overflow your energy shield, as well as start recharging your energy shield, and it's giving you more energy shield recharge rate, 100%. So yeah, basically you can overflow by 50% of your maximum energy shield. So I can get currently up to 6700 energy shield with that overflow. So yeah, it's really useful in boss fights, especially in boss fights. You a lot of the times have windows where if a boss chunks down your energy shield, you can just meditate and get it back. Or I am trying to always do it before I engage with Abyss, because Abyss is rippy, right? So yeah, that's the ascendancy. Now the skill tree. There was some changes. I reshuffled some notes a bit, but not anything super drastic. So basically, the crit is still the same. I've got crit everywhere. I've still got the chaos inoculation and these stun threshold notes. And yeah, basically it took this energy shield wheel, and I'm taking these notes right here for 40 and 15% increased damage against dazed. I'm dazing all the time because I have such a fast attack speed, and like 20% chance to daze or something like that. And now I'm taking crit chance against dazed enemies. So yeah, that's gonna be fine. Also took this note finally here. And yeah, other than that, it's pretty much still the same. Next 2 levels, so basically 91 and 92, which would be the last, probably the last 2 levels I'm gonna do on this character, would be this right here, dazing hits, and this jewel socket right here. And yeah, talking about jewels, I still use only this jewel, and after last video, I don't know when actually, but I removed my other jewel, and I don't know where it ended up. So currently, I'm using only 1 jewel. I know I should get another one ASAP, and I should have taken this before. I know jewels are really good, but I was just too lazy, and I didn't feel like the build needs it that much. So yeah, that's pretty much, we're done talking about the skill tree. Now let's jump into the gems. And a couple of things to talk about here. Yeah, since I hit level 90, my elemental expression now has all 6 links, or it's a 5 socket. So yeah, basically I could add another support gem. I don't know what's it gonna be yet. Maybe nothing. Like maybe Rising Tempest, I don't know. But yeah, basically, we shall see in the next video. By the way, even if I don't like make those actual upgrades, I'm gonna still make a video where I'm gonna talk about how would I upgrade this version of the build to higher levels? What am I planning on to do with the support gems? What am I planning to do with the gear? So don't worry, there's gonna be an update video as a last update video after this one, so don't worry. Yeah, but elemental expression, I'm currently using efficacy for less cost because I lost the leech from my gloves, and that was a big hit. I started to have a slightly mana issues, and I'm still having a little bit, so I would need another leech instance on my other ring. And then I'm using Fire Mastery. You can use any mastery you want, by the way. Blindside, Pinpoint Critical. And why am I going so heavy with the crit setup? Because I wanted to ignore those resists, because as I said in the last and the video before that, yeah, it kind of bothers me, but each of these kind of elemental explosions, they have, or effects, they have different crits: 54, 73 and 42. And yeah, that's a bit annoying if you want to do crit with every single little hit because of sunder my enemies, right? So that's why I'm going so crit heavy on the elemental expression. Then I'm using Meditate with Standfast for the ailment and stun threshold while channeling. Rapid casting, second wind and cooldown recovery. And second wind absolutely works, you get 2 charges of this. So yeah. Then the Crackling Palm from my Thunderfist with Elemental Armament, Pinpoint Critical, Close Combat and Blind. And then Ice Strike, I think it's still the same, with Elemental Armament, Rage 3, Close Combat, Crescendo and Rapid Attacks. Then Shattering Palm, still with the Ancestral Call, Elemental Armament, Magnified Area, and Frozen Spite. And Frozen Spite, by the way, was the explosion, the after explosion you've seen as the first clip in the video. Then we continue with Glacial Cascade, linked with Primal Armament, Conch Area, Ambrosia, and Culmination. However, I want to point out that now with the Atlas boss skill tree basically almost fully spec'd, I'm getting to the territory where I don't freeze bosses fast enough. So if I would like to keep Glacial Cascade, I would have to find a way how to get more freeze build up, or how to freeze more, quickly basically. And because other than that, it doesn't have much of a use. I was using it only for frozen enemies for this massive damage bonus, right? But it's fine. I've got a replacement for you if you don't really want to bother with that, or don't want to keep the skill. You don't have to use this at all. You could as well use, instead, slot in like Tempest, what's it called? The Charge Staff. Yeah, Charge Staff. Or you could just slot in the thing that I want to talk about, and that's Gathering Storm, the thing that I was using before. And yeah, Gathering Storm is just a huge damage, perfectly timed skill, and you can just scale it with all the damage supports. You can even use the same damage supports we have here, and you're gonna do massive damage with that. And yeah, just slot in instead of Glacial Cascade, slot in the Gathering Storm if you really want to. And yeah, then the thing that I'm quite proud of on this build, and that's Hand of Chayula, and that's basically in this skill gem is baked all my generation. Currently, I'm not using a curse that I proc with it, but I'm using only Sniper's Mark because I don't have it 6-linked. If I have it 6-linked, I would probably add some curse like Enfeeble or Tempt Chains back again. But yeah, how does it work? You link Hand of Chayula with Sniper's Mark. That way, with your Hand of Chayula, you're gonna be procking your Sniper's Mark with increased effect, but we don't care that much about that increased effect. Then Charge Perfusion 2, quite important here, Culmination, and Alias Chimes, or whatever it's pronounced. And basically what this means, you've seen it in the gameplay, thanks to so let's start with the basics. So thanks to culmination, or I should start with the sniper's mark itself. Yeah, so thanks to Hand of Chayula, on hit, it's gonna proc your Sniper's Mark. Sniper's Mark's gonna get consumed as soon as you critically strike the enemy. And it's gonna, in turn, give you 1 Frenzy Charge, as well as that hit that you've critically striked with has increased crit damage bonus. But main thing here we're after is the Frenzy Charge we're gonna get. So this is how we get Frenzy Charges. We Chayula, we hit, and we crit, we get Frenzy Charges. Phenomenal, right? Then Charge Perfusion. Supported skills have a chance to grant an additional charge, which means 30% chance each time we get Frenzy Charge to get 2 Frenzy Charges. And the amount of charges we have here is not so important as on other builds, but nice nonetheless. And Charge Perfusion 2 comes with the upside of, or with the additional effect of 15% chance to grant an additional random charge, which in this case would mean I would get 15% chance to get a power or an endurance charge, which is great. And then we're getting into combination of these 2 supports. Culmination for the combo, and we don't care about that damage boost at all here. It's not for damage. It's just that after each hit with other strike skills, so that means after each hit with Shattering Palm and after each hit with Ice Strike, we're gonna generate combo. That number currently at 0 because you need to hit enemies, but that number is gonna change and each hit's gonna generate 1 combo. And why do we want that? Because for each combo, for each single combo, that means 1 hit, we get a 10% chance to gain power charge when you spend that combo. So that means at 10 combo, we have a 100% chance to gain a power charge when we use the Hand of Chayula. Because thanks to culmination, we're gonna use all that combo as soon as we press Hand of Chayula, because it's gonna give that one cast of the Hand of Chayula the more damage per combo. So this way we generate power charges also. But the thing is, the last line here, this chance can exceed 100%. So that means it's not particularly like insanely strong for my build. For my build it's more of a quality of life. But for some builds that means if you're at 30 combo on Hand of Chayula and press your Hand of Chayula, you're gonna get 3 power charges, right? And I think that it works with the Charge Perfusion support, that basically this support supports even this support. So, although I'm not sure. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, I'm not sure. But yeah, just this combination of basically a 5-link or 4-socketed Hand of Chayula feels really good, and it gives you easy time to generate power and frenzy charges easily. And why do we do that? I'm gonna skip here real quick for charge regulation. And charge regulation was a thing that I wanted to take a look at during the last league and during the launch, but it really wasn't. I couldn't figure out a way how to generate charges, and it was consuming charges every like 6 seconds, so it was really annoying to use. But now with quality, this support consumes 1 of each charge every 12.4 seconds, and that's a big deal. 12.4 seconds is a long time. So with charge generation from the Hand of Chayula that we've just talked about, you can easily reap bonuses from charge regulation, and reap bonuses, I mean 25% more crit and 15% more skill speed. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. On top of all of the attack speed scaling that we're getting, kind of crazy, if you ask me. And the good thing is, sometimes you even get power charges thanks to Charge Perfusion too. Yeah, pretty damn strong for a 30 spirit. Alright, other than that, Tempest Bell, it's still the same. Armor Break, Inevitable Critical, Impale and Close Combat. I don't think I've got Inevitable Critical there, but I figured out that Inevitable Critical is really good because they buffed it a lot. It now takes only seconds to build up to 200 increased crit chance. And yeah, basically by the time I build to, this was 100%, maybe I changed something, but yeah, basically from what I remember, Tempest Bell snapshots. And the thing that it snapshot means that if the impact crits, I think all of the shockwaves afterward crit too. So Inevitable Critical seems to be, if it works that way, Inevitable Critical is a really good support. And don't worry, even if you spam your bell, by the time your bell ends, you're gonna be able to put, in this version at least, you're gonna be able to put another one with the full buff again. So basically another guaranteed crit. So yeah, that's why I'm using it. Still, I'm still a believer that the Impale works. So yeah, still using the Impale, Close Combat. I was still Vaulting Impact with Fist of War, Heavy Swing, Culmination, and Blindside for more crit. Because now we're blinding with basically the Crackling Palm. So you reap the rewards of more crit and more crit damage. Now, as I said in my last video, I wanted to be adding custom crit into the build, but that didn't work out, unfortunately, because for some reason custom crit just wasn't doing any damage in my build, so I just decided that I'm not gonna use it and use something different instead, and I decided for Convalescence for more comfy abysses, because what does this do? You just basically press it, and it's gonna instantly begin your energy shield recharge rate, and it cannot be interrupted for 3.8 seconds on level 17, and that can be modified further with stuff like prolonged duration. So yeah, it makes Abysses really nicer, and it's linked with cooldown recovery, second wind, prolonged duration, and rapid casting. And yeah, basically if you're not CI, if you're not Chaos Inoculation, restore 2% of maximum life per second used on the cooldown. That is really quite strong because it has a freaking 38 seconds cooldown. So yeah, you're gonna basically over 1 second regenerate 3/4 of your life, just like that, if you're not CI. So that is pretty damn strong, the second wind. So this can end up being really good. Oh goddamn button. I mean, I'm in danger button, I would say. Then still Ghost Dance with compressed duration, and I added Mysticism and Clarity, Mysticism 1 and Clarity 1. And the Charge Perfusion has Mysticism 2 and Clarity 2. And yes, I didn't know, I figured it out yesterday, that you can, or 2 days back, you can actually use 2 copies of this same, like, you can use basically 2 different tiers of the same support, even if it's aura support. So I can use Clarity 1 and Clarity 2, Mysticism 1, Mysticism 2. And why I'm using Mysticism, it's because I wanted to scale that much needed damage, increased damage for my Elemental Expression, because that's a spell. So yeah, and lastly here, Wind Dancer with Rage, Magnified Area, and Blind. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the build. That's the upgrades. As I said, even if I don't like literally buy the items and make the upgrades myself, even if I don't do that, I'm gonna be doing another video where I talk about the upgrades I would do for the build if I would be continuing it. But as I said, I want to be playing some other builds. I'm really hyped for another video I want to make, and I'm really hyped for another more interesting builds that I want to play during this league. So yeah, Hollow Farm was one of the things I wanted to play. It is a blast, and it will be still a blast. As I said, I need to finish my Atlas tree, I need to kill Arbiter, but that's fine, I'm gonna do it today. because I've got the Citadel, last Citadels prepped and ready here. I've got a couple Citadels. I've got another Tavakai boss here, so another chance for Rakiata's Flow. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching, Exiles, and see you the next time.